Hello Marvel Heroes fans, my name is Wilfred and welcome to my channel. If you like this sort of guide, do check out the link at the description below. More guides for you to watch. Today, let's talk about X-23 in this Heroes Design Review and Build Ideas mini-series. Now, why X-23? Because of the Logan movie. I hope you got a chance to check it out. It's good. And after the movie, I got so motivated. I said, well, I really want to take a look at X-23. Guess what? I really like how they've done the X-23 design after the biggest update ever. So before that, I had some issue with her, and now it's actually really fun to play. So that is the good part. Of course, we all have to be cautious because sometimes we love a hero too much, and you never know what Gazillion will do in the next patch. And so, like Angela, I love her area build or not, and after that they completely destroy it and become like not viable at all. There's no such thing. So I hope they don't do the same to X-23, but I don't know, fingers crossed. You never know. Always enjoy the moment and what we like today. This movement build is really good. I'm not even a movement kind of player. You guys know me. When I play a hero, usually I don't pick a movement kind of build, for some exceptions. So that says something about her, and I think that the design is very coherent as well. There's nothing for me to pick really for X-23. So I hope you guys enjoyed the next part of the video, which is more on the power, trait, and the talent, and also I'll showcase to you a little bit on the cosmic terminal. So do check out the time code below if you like to jump to any part of the video. All right. Let's talk about her power, trait, and talents. To build her, you can either do a movement or non-movement build. Both way could be fun as well, but I kind of like the movement because it's a lot special. She is a melee hero. She's a defense and also dodge hero, so that's wonderful with a decent amount of health regen, like Deadpool, I think, or Wolverine. So that's all good news for her. She has something called Wrath. Very unique primary resource, whereby it doesn't get regenerated, but you can regenerate that through the basic power, which is like the cleaving claws, if so you wish to. But I found a way to reliably regenerate the Wrath through one of the talents. So it's really good news because I can do away with the basic power and have another power with the main spender. Now, when you play X-23, I strongly suggest that you open up the buff window, which is the period or full stop, depending on which part of the world you come from. Then you will open up this window here. You can see this because it's very engaging. It's very good design. So instead of a basic power, I use something called the Capoeira. Maybe a bit controversial, but this power is greatly buffed by the movement power, which if you play X-23, this particular build, you move a lot, so you will gain that free stack, no problem. This hits rather hard, but more importantly, look this what happened when you hit. You have something called the ferocity, and they will build up to 5 times. So that is very nice, and ferocity means something. There's another buff that you will see in just a bit. So that is good news. So you can see where all these things fall on and so on. So that's why this thing is really cool, and the animation is fantastic. So what happened when you run out of Wrath? Well, guess what? You can do signature until a signature all full, and see, done. Bam! You got full kind of you got full Wrath, and then you are in a killing trance. Just now the whole blue thing is there. So again, observe things that you see from there. So whenever you do a movement, you can see that whenever you do a movement, your Capoeira buff will go up, kind of thing. So 2 times kind of thing. So all these things become very engaging. So don't just mash button for the sake of mashing button. You have to know why you mash a button. So that's really good. Another thing that is really good about this design is that whenever you are in killing trance, there are actually ways to recuperate this whole entire kind of like charge to it. It's through the 2 power. One is the open the Jugular, and also the other one is Cyclone Kick. Both of them would then would help you to get the charge up. So what do I mean by that? So imagine if I let me just raise all my charges here. Then if I do this thing here, I get another 2 charges. What it means is that I can do another 2, and I replenish all my Wrath. So your Wrath is just unlimited because you can always gain 2 charges, at least gain 2 charges. So that's really fun kind of gameplay. And also, besides that, that I've got some talent to sort of like randomly reset some of these things here to gain you more charges as well. So the whole thing becomes very engaging, very fun. And last but not the least, I have something called the Crimson Sweep, which is like the area power, and it's nice. It's rather big kind of radius, and it gives you the kind of damage over time as well. So that is the reason why I think this build is fantastic. And of course, last but not the least, the Rending Leap that give you the kind of like, the movement power, buff your spender, and so on and so forth. So there are many good things to go for in this build. Just notice all these things here, read the tooltips so that you can understand why you're doing certain things, the way. So now let's talk about the in general what you can do here so that I can understand why I'm doing some things. Now, first of all, she's a durability speed hero, so whatever that you spec for your attribute, make sure you have these 2. Crit chance is another trait, so that's good. Now, first tier is that you can increase the Wrath, which for me, it doesn't really make sense. I don't think there's impel kind of thing, I don't know. Because whatever power I have here doesn't really benefit from the Wrath pool. Second one is that if you want to play the Grievous Wound and stuff like that, the Restore Wrath, there's probably another way for you to Restore Wrath. I personally would like to just buff my movement power and then restore Wrath that way as well, because movement generate the Wrath. Do I have a lot of movement power? Not really, except the signature, of course, that hit rather hard, by the way. But there aren't really a lot of movement. There are some that are movement, but at least I put it here. All right. So another tier, second tier, is that if you like to do this embowel and rip to shreds, then it's probably the bleeding build in the old days that you could do something like that. But I just find that a little bit stationary compared to the movement build. It's a lot more fun to do a movement build. So now this is the one I'm talking about. The Rending Leap as well as the Twirling Launch has 25% to reset the cooldown of the Cyclone Kick and open the Jugular. Now, why is it important? Well, it is important because remember, the open the Jugular as well as the Cyclone Kick will gain you charges when you are in a killing trance. Means that when you finish off all the 5 charges, when you're in the killing trance, whenever you do open the Jugular and also Cyclone Kick, will then add the charges onto your signature, which is hit really hard. And so if you do your Twirling Launch as well as the Rending Leap, you have a 25% of adding more charges or resetting the cooldown of that. It is fantastic. So it synergizes really well, and that's why I like this build a lot. Next one is that if you use you want to increase the slash and heads and capoeira, you can do that too, but those are very stationary. I think slash and hack is more for the bleeding build. It's not really. It's more for the bleeding build. Mine is more for movement build. All right, so just to give you some idea. Next tier is that you could regenerate. You could actually multiply your defense rating. Or you can if you want to play a little bit of stealth. I don't think you need to play stealth really for her. Last but not the least, of course, you can get more dodge as well. And whenever you use a movement power, you gain more dodge chance. Then that is nice. I mean, that add on to her survivability. Her health is not that high, so it is good to have more of these kind of dodge chances to help you through. Okay, next bit is that you could use the Bloody Harvest become a movement and double and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not really into that. Another one is that you could actually change this to a Cleaving Chorus to add the Grievous Wound. So if you play the Bleed, you can modify this to become like a Bleed kind of contributor. And last but not the least is that when I hit with the Capoeira or Slant Hack, you gain the Ferocity. Now, what is the Ferocity? The Ferocity, the one that you see when I hit this guy here, the one that I see here, this one is Ferocity. I think last time in the past, you have to manually click this one. Now you don't need to. Now, what it does is that it increases the crit chance of your next Rip to Stress, Dispower, open the open the jugular or cyclone kick by 20% up to 100%. So that's nice because in my build I use these two a lot. So if I can buff these two by increasing the crit chance to quite a fair bit, and that's good news. It does hit quite rather hard as well, right? So between these two, I rather have this one here. The next bit is that whether you want to restore use this disembowel and rip to strap to restore one charge of the dancing blade. So you could do that, but that is more for bleed. I think the rip to strap and the disembowel. The next one is cyclone click and open the jugular, which is more for movement. Last one is that you could also just say, well, I don't want to use some power to deal with the signature. I would just like to gain more charges and longer duration, and you can do that too. Then you are not constrained by the fact that you have to pick this 2 power or this 2 power. You can pick any of those combinations if so you wish to. But I think this build itself though synergizes really well. So I'm going to go into the Cosmic Curse and showcase to you how that plays like. So this is Cosmic Curse, and I'm using pre 2.0 gear playing X-23, and here we go. So I would like to just like signature in, and that's it, done. Fast, right? I mean, compared to others that you have seen. And alright, so that's one here, one there, and let's do one more here. Ooh, okay, so now I mean, I hope you got a chance to observe some of this buff that I have here. Now it's not always I can use the spender and gain the buff and so on, but whenever I can, it's nice. All right, so 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's very efficient. The whole X-23 is so fluid. It's nice, right? So I hope you got a chance to sort of like enjoy this. Like sometimes all these have become very enjoyable. Very nice, very nice. Where's my Deadpool? So it is 12 as well. So it depends on what you want to do, and the yeah, I mean, look at how fluid the whole thing is. But it's not just fluid for the sake of fluid. It's actually very efficient when it comes to killing things. So I enjoy a lot. 12 here, like lounge here and stuff like that. And I also don't need to really look into the screen, look into the hotbar for too much, because some of this cooldown thing, you tend to having to look into hotbar for too long. But then because after a while you can't feel it, you know that there are 4 charges and so on and so forth, or 5 charges and so on and so forth. And after that you can use your kick and you can use your open the jugular. You know that at least you have 2 charges from your signatures and stuff like that. So that is the reason why it's good. You don't need to keep seeing the screen. It's rarely that I got into like a situation whereby I run out of RAB because I wasn't paying attention. But all I need to do is just to make sure that I pop the signature and that's it, right? So yeah, that's good. And also that synergizes with the core as well, because if you say you use the signature, you gain defense rating, then I've got like really a lot of like nice defense to it for harder content, which is a dream come true though. If you play X-23 in the past, I mean, wow, this is like heaven, right? I mean, can you imagine in the past how many times when you try to run a terminal or whatnot, then you feel that she's rather fragile and you don't really like playing her, right? And that her jump is always so clunky and so on. But now it's like very fluid, very nice. I love it. I hope you got to try it out, and let me know in the comment box below how you like it and so on. I love it a lot, Yeah. Come on, man, die. Alright, so that is done. How many more lieutenant out there? One more. Let me save this guy here. Civilian. I'm a hero. So, okay, so that is done. Yep, so that's done. 1. I'm still using a low-key rune. That was a legacy decision, seriously. Alright, so almost there. I'm gonna pop the signature, I mean the ultimate later on when I face curse. So I hope that's okay. So what do we have here? Must be a bunch of like Ooh, done. That's it, mate. Okay, so I'm going to, let me see the ultimate button. It didn't work last time when I was playing Beast, or not Beast. What hero was it? 2, 3. Yeah, very nice. Very nice, I love it. Well, he does the void thing, so I have to avoid that. Sometimes it can be very very dangerous. Yeah, come on, man. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so is there anything nice to loot here? No. This is without boost. Of course, I have nothing. I don't know. So I'm just going to... I can't even loot some of these things. How am I going to loot this thing here? Click here. Nope. Okay, there's a box here on my way, maybe. There's a unique... How do I click? Ah, now I can. Okay, let me see whether there's anything good from this box or not. Ta-da! Nope. Because I'm not boosted. Anyway, so I hope you get a chance to sort of like, you know, appreciate this movement build. I really hope that you got a chance to play as well, because I kind of love it a lot. And as always, do leave me a note here, and you know, in closing, just pay attention to the buff window here. It helps you a lot to understand your hero and why you're doing certain things in certain order. There's only that much I can teach here, but the rest of it you have to experience. And why is it there's a bubble here? I do not know. There's still a lot of bugs in this game. Huge number of bugs. Anyway, see you next time. Goodbye.